It's the Slam Dunk.
So Simon Barnett standing by. We'll get to him in a tick. But David Seymour, he was just dumb writing such a long 1,000-word letter to the New Zealand police in support of Auckland Eye surgeon Philip Polkinghorne, just 4 months before he was officially charged with wife Pauline Hanna's murder. It went way beyond what Seymour claims it was. He claims he was passing on Polkinghorne's concerns over how he was treated. But that's disingenuous of Seymour. Utter bullshit. Over 1,000 words, he goes into intricate details about the many alleged failings of the police and associated agencies. And at one stage, even questions why Polkinghorne had to suffer the indignation of being put inside a police car for all of 15 minutes in an unshowered state. Someone's died here, and Polkinghorne was the only other person inside the house. He was lucky that's all he's got to moan about. Many others have faced all sorts of charges that see them held in custody before any trial. A 15-minute wait inside a police car? Come on. Seymour is stupid and dumb for this letter because it goes way beyond just passing on the concerns of a constituent. Most MPs, when replying to members of the public, keep their letters short and sweet, like your correspondence has been noted. In fact, some don't do enough or even reply at all. They certainly really get such a royal red carpet service like Seymour gave Polkinghorne, and especially given the circumstances where his wife died. And police, of course, are treating him as a suspect. What the hell was Seymour thinking? The real victims of crime get treated way worse, and their requests of MPs and agencies too often fall on deaf ears. So many people tell me they've written to MPs and ministers and they never hear back. Yet here we have a prime suspect about to be charged in the most salacious alleged murder plot in Auckland in decades, and Seymour makes the call to go and debate for him, falling over himself to help this guy who many concluded was already a first-class scumbag anyway with the details that had come out. Where was Seymour's political radar? Did he sit down with Polkinghorne beforehand? When, where, and for how long? Is he an act donor? Had Seymour been a minister at the time and written the letter, he would have been sacked by the Prime Minister hands down. And the Prime Minister needs to be more public in shooting down Seymour over this judgment. Ministers hold significant powers through their warrants, and they simply can't get away with writing such letters to the New Zealand police. It looks like they're trying to change the course of an investigation. I think MPs probably should be covered by that rule too. MPs are perceived to be influential. Any advocacy like this needs to be rare. Remember, Seymour is about to become the Deputy Prime Minister. Imagine if he'd written that as a minister. He would not just be sacked, but he could have collapsed the government because the government would then be losing the leader of one of the three parties who signed up to the coalition. It would have triggered much instability and uncertainty anyway. Maurice Williamson was a minister. He asked the police about a specific criminal case of a constituent. Key sacked him on the spot, saying the rules are clear, you can't do this. It's such dangerous territory. Former cop, senior MP and assistant speaker at the time of this, Ian Revel, wrote to the police seriously questioning a speeding ticket. So foolish from someone in such high office. Stupid, dumb, and a failed attempt at bullying because don't you know who I am? He had to resign too. But Seymour was just an MP in 2022. Not yet a minister, albeit he was a senior MP and a leader of a party. The red alarm bells should have been going full noise in his face and in the face of those who work with him. Did his staff know that he was getting involved in this? It's a punch to his own nose for this one, the work of an amateur, the work of a rank, ignorant and naive novice. He should have said to Polkinghorne, I know your concerns, you haven't been charged, you remain a free man, but guilty in the eyes of the public. You've been a meth user. If I was you, pal, I'd shut up and keep your head down and pray furiously that the knock on the door from the men in blue never comes. But instead he provided this line-by-line breakdown, this forensic list of unproven moans and groans from Polkinghorne to the police under his own name. It carries weight. It's Seymour. It does carry weight. Seymour's a senior MP. Polkinghorne at the time was being ignored by everyone else, so Seymour was his last option. MPs really fall over themselves with such unproven and untested breathless abandon like Seymour did for this bloke. I get approached often from people in jail or about to be in jail for me to advocate for them. I look carefully at it, and if I can help, I'm honest about it. If I can't, I won't. I was once approached by an evil man, double murderer Bruce House, who rightly rots in jail for the double murder of his two teenage stepdaughters, who he was abusing at the time. If I could help him, he said he was innocent. I needed to help him. I said no, he wasn't. Take a hike, pal, was my reply. The guy was a sexual abuser and a murderer. Likewise, I was asked by an acquaintance who had a couple of gang member friends if I'd go into bat for a senior jailed gang member, friend of theirs, who was dying and wanted early compassionate release. I checked out who he was. Given his gang links, his crimes and his unrepentant attitude, his feared reputation, I straight up and told my friend, sorry, I can't be associated with this request. MPs simply get so much correspondence and almost too many approaches, they don't know what to do with it, so they don't reply at all. They very rarely have time to do what Seymour did. Remember, this is not some old Joe local voter. This is a wealthy, high-profile man under police watch and investigation who was a suspect over his wife's death. Polkinghorne was the only other person with her around the time she died. Now, Seymour is not a naive fool prone to misjudgments usually. What did he get out of such advocacy? What was the upside for doing something that was so risky? And likely to be seen by the public at large as a serious misjudgment, the wrong guy to back. Would Seymour have done the same for a local beneficiary who felt blighted by the system? Or would he do it for a local who had a battle with ACC? Would he do it for the local Māori guy who feels, the last 185 years, something hasn't been right? Man, his land's been stolen. He's failed to get ahead. Discrimination's held him back. Would Seymour advocate for him and others with such gusto? The PM should call Seymour into his office and just remind him how unwise it was to do this and to get involved in such advocacy again. Remind him in 12 weeks he becomes the Deputy Prime Minister. And the stakes then are really, really high.
Duncan Garner, live.